Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, we are diving into a real estate company's documents, and it's not about flipping houses. We will be looking into the behind-the-scenes agreements that keep the money flowing and how those agreements affect the financial numbers. If you find value in deciphering these complex reports, make sure to subscribe. We also have a Discord community. The link is in the description. We are looking at a filing from Ares Industrial Real Estate Income Trust Inc. It's basically a snapshot of some important things that happened to them around April of 2025. Think of it like a quick update they are required to give to the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC. One of the main things in this report is about an agreement they have with their advisor. An advisor in this case is someone who manages the company's money and investments. This part is called Item 1.01, which just means they are talking about a significant agreement they entered into. They renewed their agreement with Ares Commercial Real Estate Management, LLC, which is their advisor. The old agreement was set to expire in April of 2025, but they've decided to keep it going until April of 2026. This new agreement is called the Amended and Restated Advisory Agreement 2025. Amended and Restated Advisory Agreement 2025. Amended and Restated Advisory Agreement 2025. Amended and Restated means that they are making some changes to the original agreement, but mostly keeping it the same. Think of it like this: the company hired a money manager and they are extending the contract for another year. The contract outlines what the money manager will do and how much they will get paid. There were some small tweaks to the description of services provided by the advisor and clarifications on fees and expenses, but nothing major. This part is about selling company stock, which are shares without registering them with the SEC. Normally when a company sells stock, they have to register it with the SEC, which means filling out a lot of paperwork and following certain rules. But in some cases, they can sell stock without registering it if they meet certain requirements. Between April and May of 2025, they sold some shares without registering them. They did this under something called Regulation D, which allows companies to sell stock to certain investors without registering it. Here is where the financial numbers come in. They issued 2,346 shares of something called Class SPR shares. From these sales, they brought in about 29,901,595 Zen fees, which totaled 327,725. Next, they sold 2,726 Class DPR shares for about $35,018. Finally, they issued 2,000 and 2,127 Class IPR shares, which generated $25,749,335. It's worth noting that all these numbers include activity from their distribution reinvestment plan. A distribution reinvestment plan allows investors to use the money they get from dividends, which is share of the company's profits, to buy more shares of the company's profits. To buy more shares of the company's profits. First, the company renewed its agreement with its advisor, meaning the company is continuing to trust their money manager. Second, they were able to raise money, almost $60 million, by selling shares without having to go through the full registration process with the SEC. This can be a faster and less expensive way to raise capital, which is money for the company. However, there are some considerations. The fact that they used Regulation D to sell these shares suggests that they were selling them to a select group of investors rather than the general public. In the different classes of shares, Class SPR, Class DPR, and Class IPR likely have different rights and features. These classes have different fees, and this is important for the investors to know. In conclusion, Ares Industrial Real Estate Income Trust is continuing its existing advisory relationship and has successfully raised more capital through unregistered sales of equity. Alright, that's our breakdown of this filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.